I'm losing it, absolutely losing it. I think this is my 4th video today, because this morning I started off with a new project, and that led to part 2 and part 3, and now I still need to do part 4, and I just realized, but that cannot go into my 30-day challenge of creating a new life. So this is just the video of day 26 of creating a new life. What to do if you really want to come alive, you know? Do a new thing. Try something else. Not try, do it. Man, don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about anything else. Just go for it and just do it. So that's what I did. I started, as I said, a new project. And I was doing so many things that I haven't done in years, or actually never. I was dyeing papers. I was gluing papers. I was making things, and I'm not going to give this away. But the whole thing that I got out of this whole day was, no matter how many decades or whatever you've been on this planet, we got to keep doing new things, because that's how we grow, that's how we expand, that's how we learn more about ourselves. I cannot tell you how much I've learned during this new project of mine. I will put that video on tomorrow. I've learned that I am not a perfectionist at all, and that it is okay. That I just do what I can do and just make the best of it. Because that's who I am. So why always compare myself? Oh, I did that for many, many years. I compared myself to my mother, who was a perfectionist, then to most of my friends, and what the teachers wanted of me. And life was just, I enjoyed life. I really, really loved life. At school, I loved school because of the friends and all the sport after school and all the activities. And you know, I didn't love the physical work and studying and that, but I loved the joy of friends and doing things and learning new things and whatever. But I've always felt not good enough because I wasn't a perfectionist. So I didn't get 90% and all of those type of things. I was just about average. And I remember I think I was in grade 5 or 6, and my mother took me to a person that do your what do you call it? How bright you are. We call it in Afrikaans your IQ, intelligence, whatever. So I went there, and I was just going into high school, as we call it those days. And he said, no, you are extremely smart. You need to take maths, and you need to take all those other subjects, because you are so intelligent. So I listened to them, and I did take the maths was okay, but I went and I took science. You know, I didn't understand it, I didn't enjoy it, and it was just not nice. And now, so I was in that mold, you know, what your parents want of you and what the school and your religion and your culture, they just put you in this massive box. And later, you're in that box too. And you think, but you're not good enough because you don't fit very comfortably in this box. And I was there for the first 40, 50 years of my life in this box. And then I remember one day we went to we were leaders at that stage at a seminar for marriage counseling things. I don't know what you call it. And we were there. And a woman came up to me out of the blue. She said, but you are arty. I said, what? At that stage, I believed I was left brain, because I had to do everything like this, and I measured myself against that. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I was arty. I never did art, and when I did, it wasn't good enough because I couldn't draw that perfectly in the art class or whatever. So I couldn't believe it when she said that. Then at that same seminar, we did the brain profile thing, and I was totally right brain. There was nothing left brain in my brain. You know what I mean? And that just means artistic, very, very artistic, very, very teaching orientated. So I was that whole right brain. It blew my box into smithereens. I cannot tell you what it meant to me. All of a sudden, I thought, but I was always pushed and whatever, and measured myself against the left brain, the people that was, doing things like this. They needed, oh my goodness, what would the world be without them? But I measured them myself because my mother was like that, very, very left brainy. You know what I mean? Perfectionistic. Oh, terribly. And I was always falling short. Always. And I grew into a person believing that I'm not good enough, that there's something wrong with me because I just didn't fit in with I grew up in a small little place. There wasn't even art in the school, never mind. And I was very good in sports, so I did the sport route, went that route. And as I said, I only started my art journey when I was 20 years ago, not even 20 years ago. But not even the art journey, but just that myself being tested, realizing, but I'm actually very artistic. I always was very creative, but I never did it, because there wasn't really an opening for me to do it. I mean, after school, I went to university, did physical education, then I got married, and then it was kids, 2 in 2 years, and it was, my husband went to the army, and it was crazy. So I just had to cope with life. Yes, I always did handcrafting things, very creative things. I had a children's clothing range where I printed and even created the clothes, made leather belts. So I was always busy with something. But when I look back and where I am now, the big thing is you got to keep learning new things if you want to grow. So you got to, what was the word that I used? Unlock your creativity, because all of us are creative in different ways. But even if you left brain, as they say, and that is, the bookkeeping people and all of those kinds of people and the doctors and the whatever, you're still creative. There's still creativity in you. It's just going to be different than others. So we got to blow those boxes that we put ourselves in due to where we found ourselves as a kid, and we got to get out of the box. And I said the most difficult thing is you have believed all those things about yourself. I did. I'm not creative. I'm not, I need to be like this. I'm not good enough because I'm not like that. I didn't wear the clothes that your status quo girls wore it, that I didn't want to. I was always is just a little bit out of the box. And oh my goodness, I cannot tell you the joy that I'm feeling and experiencing the more I unlock my creativity. So this project that I'm busy with now, it is just making me expand and grow and excited and joyful and just wanting to share and wanting to get you out of your box, and we just need to become who we truly are. You know, I am only now at the big 60 years. I'm now starting to become who I actually am. It was so funny. My sister-in-law once said, she said it was only after my mother passed on that I started to become who I am now. Isn't it funny? My mother, but in the others, even though she was the best mother, she was exactly what I needed, and I became tough. I grew up very loving house and everything. I told you previously I was adopted and blah, blah, blah. And they loved me and I was like a princess. But my mother and I, as I said, no creativity there. And now if you look at me now, you can imagine, you know, growing up in a house where there was very little freedom to create freely, you know what I mean. And in our days, if you're my age, we grew up very strict. You know, you believe what we believe and what our religion believes, and the culture, and the friends, and the family, and the parents, and the country, you know. So I grew up like that, and it took lots of years and tears and sweat and whatever to get rid of all those lies that I came to believe about myself in order for me to become who I am now. And that is, I feel comfortable in my skin now. If you know what I mean, I've never felt comfortable because I wasn't allowed to. I didn't even know it at that time. You know, when you grow up, that's all that you know. So you do what everybody tells you and you find your happiness in that and blah, blah, blah. But now when I look back, only now I really feel comfortable in who I am becoming, and I'm still becoming. And that is what this day is all about. This day number 26. I think I'm at the right day. I'm not sure. Can you believe it? I'm at day 26 of creating a beautiful life for you. And one thing, I think the biggest thing is you got to find out who you really are in your skin, in your life. And you got to get rid of the box that you were placed in, you know, as a kid and growing up and whatever. I mean, and then in the next breath, I always tell everybody, your parents, they only did their best with what they knew, with the bondage that they grew up in, blah, blah, blah. They did their best. They gave their all. You know, I'm going to share this. We were at the children's, at one stage, we were youth leaders at a youth camp. And the one, I had the kids from the orphanage. We were there. It was, yeah, the kids, it was a, now my English is gone again. Wait, I'm going to get it. It was children from the orphanage that came to that course, youth, you know. And I had the 18 years old, 17 years old girls. Yeah, there were boys too. So I had that group. And we were at the night, you know, where you write all your things on a little paper and then you burn the paper and you let it go, you know. And one of my girls in my group, she went there with her paper, and out of that came the following. She was rejected as a kid, as a baby or whatever, so she landed in the orphanage. Then she got adopted, and later her adopted parents couldn't cope, so she was placed back into the orphanage. That child was crying so much and she was releasing all the pain, and the next minute that pain hit me, because remember, I was adopted when I was 6 days old. But my adopting parents were the best ever. They loved me, as I said, unconditionally. They never talked of me, thought of me as being the adoptive child. Never once did I ever hear that. But they told me from very small that I'm adopted. So I grew up knowing that, making peace with it, because I had the love that goes with that. But the pain I experienced when that girl broke down and I thought to be rejected the second time, I remember I was crying so much that my 2 little boys, I think they were, let's say, 11 and 12, had to help me to the room. I couldn't walk. I was so heartbroken with the pain that I felt. And there I got more healing, because once again, I could just surrender that pain, just like that girl could. I could just hold her and just be there for her and just cry for her, for myself, for every other person and kid that got rejected and felt that terrible rejection. So I don't know how I got here, but that's all that I'm saying. The parents just do their best. Most parents are so broken, and then they try to help a kid. It's just a roller coaster. So the only thing that we can do is get healed ourselves. That's all that we can do for ourselves and everybody else. Our kids, our grandkids, our husbands, but mostly for ourselves. If you get healed from your hurts and your pain, then I know it's just absolutely amazing. And that's when love, unconditional love and peace and joy and power and whatever you need start to flow, because we all have the life. But all these things are just stifling that life, and that life in us cannot flow. And we struggle just to get up in the morning, just to live. So all that you can do is heal. And by that I mean just surrender the pain. Whatever comes up, just surrender. I just usually say, Father, I surrender. I just give it to you. I cannot cope with this. Just get this out of me. Then I am talking about with the abundance, everlasting, spiritual life, my life source. And that is how we get delivered and set free and healed and whole, getting out of that box of mine. And it took lots of tears, lots of pain, lots of healing and deliverance and whatever. So every situation you find yourself in, look, watch and see what is manifesting in you. Is it pain? Is it rejection? Is it anger? And surrender that. Let it go. Release it. And so that the life in you can start with the healing and the flowing and whatever. So day number 26, I will now have to make sure this is on the front page of my video, is keep learning new things. Keep unlocking that creativity in you. Keep doing things that unlock the life in you. I mean, that's what I said when I started this new project of mine that you will now see tomorrow. I had to laugh at myself because all my insecurities came to the front, all my impatience and everything, and I had to work through that and just enjoy the process of trying something new, trying something out of my comfort zone, and just make peace with who I am. Because that's good enough for this moment. Because life happens now, and this is all that I have. So thank you that I can share this with you. And after today, I'm now first going to finish the project that I've started, and then we will do day number 27 or whatever. But I just felt the project isn't part of the days, and I just had to work that out for myself, you know. So, not that anybody cares, but I just wanted to know where I'm going. So, life is awesome. Stop being afraid. Let go of fear and just start. When you look at YouTube and you see something that sparks your fancy, get up and go and try it and do it and experience the joy of becoming somebody new. There was something that I read, but I'm not sure about the words, but everybody changes you never see the same person the same twice, even yourself. We change, we're constantly changing, but oh no, we want to keep everyone in his box and he must, not change and we're all changing, we're permanently changing, so we can just as much start to enjoy the change. Becoming more and more who you really are, making peace with who you really are and who you've been. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful journey, this journey through this realm. We just got to get out of the way and realize nothing is wrong. Nobody else, we're all just in a different journey. As I said, if you're here with me, listening to me here, then now we came together in this half an hour, sharing life. And then some of you will never see me again. Others we will share a little bit longer. Whatever. That is life. Nothing in this realm is permanent. So change is good. Change is healing. Change is becoming who you truly are. And as I said, never too old to get out of your box, to destroy your box. It's never too late to start to experience the fullness of life. It's never too late. And why are we alive if we never walk and experience the fullness of life? Unconditional love, abundant joy, and peace in the midst of any situation. That's heaven on earth. And most people never find that in their journey through this realm. I don't want to be one of them. I want to experience life in its fullness now. I want to experience peace and joy in the midst of any situation I'm facing. Now, if it's difficult, you can still. The life in you promises you peace and joy in the midst. I will give you what you need to get through this. All the strength, all the wisdom, the provision, whatever you may need to get through, whatever you need to go through. But moment by moment. Now, the life in you is in you now, flows through you now, provide you with what you need to go through, whatever you're going through now. We just got to get our minds back from the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan tomorrow, and get it in this moment and start enjoying the life that we have been blessed with and given. Love you lots. So tomorrow, if you're watching this, I'm putting on my new project that I'm now busy with. Love you lots. Is it from Zetster's Lab?